Hello, here I am again. I'm Rochelle. I'm from Escaping Your Comfort Zone, Body Positive Adventures. Today I wanted to have a chat about things to carry water in when heading out on a short walk or a half-day hike, and just discuss a few of the options and the pros and cons. So this here is your standard water bottle, 750 mils, I think this one is. This is okay on a cold day, a cool day, and you're heading out for an hour and a half or so, and there is options for water around. This will often fit in the side of backpacks, and pretty standard water bottle. Then we move on to the marvellous Nalgene bottle. The Nalgene bottle is so marvellous because it, first of all, it has capacity. So this one is a litre. It has a wide mouth, so you can put ice and things like that in. And the seal on the Nalgene bottle, if tightened enough, if you were to be camping at night, you can fill this bottle with hot water, not too boiling, but hot water, seal it, and use it as a hot water bottle. I highly suggest wrapping it in a sock or something like that, not using it directly on your skin, but using it to warm up your sleeping bag before you get in. Make sure you test your Nalgene bottle to make sure it doesn't leak first. Majority of them don't, but some do. This is also a great way to utilise your Escaping Your Comfort Zone sticker if you've got one, and claim it as an Escaping Your Comfort Zone bottle. This is my favourite, and it's been around forever. The other thing that's great is you can hang it from a pack, so you can hang it from one of the loops on your pack. Just be careful that this doesn't break, but they're pretty robust in the fact that you can drop them and they don't break. Love the Nalgene bottles. Along the lines of drink bottles, so this here is what's called a soft flask. You'll see here there's no water in it, and it rolls up to next to nothing. So some of you might prefer to not have structured bottles, and this is an option. This is also an option for those of you who may want to take a water bottle, have it full, but don't want the awkwardness of carrying a water bottle, and then just fill it up at taps along the way. Excuse me, COVID. And the other thing I will say with water bottles is that if it's going to be a hot day, partially fill them and put them in the freezer. Freeze the bottom of them or add ice to them. Excellent. So moving right along now to what's called a water bladder or a camelback. So a camelback is a brand name. It's this one. They have a whole lot of different designs, and it just happens to be something people refer to them all as camelbacks. So look, if we look at this one first, so this one is a 3 litre one. I love this, that I can carry a lot of water for a day out on a hike. The good thing about this one is that it has a nice wide opening, which means you can clean it really well. So you can basically get a brush in there and clean it. You can almost pull it out inside out and clean it and put water in it. Many backpacks have a section for these to sit, and they will hang in that section so that they hang upright. One tip is when you're putting it in there, make sure all the air's out of it. If the air's in it, it'll go slosh, 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 slosh every footfall. This is the water pipe. Why is the word for it gone beyond me? Anyway, let's call it a pipe for now. So basically what happens is this is in your pack, and this will wrap around and sit here sticking out of your pack, and you can just suck on it at any time. The other important thing to look at with these is what kind of mouthpiece is on it. So this mouthpiece I love because all I have to do is squeeze it between my teeth and it comes out. Downside is if I've got my pack in the back of the car and something is sitting on it, all the water will leak out the mouthpiece. So for me, I prefer a turn on, turn off mouthpiece. The other upside of having something like this is you can see here in terms of capacity, 750 mils, 3 litres, or 1 litre, 3 litres. You can carry a whole lot more, so that's really good in terms of hydration, but bear in mind that's an extra 3 kilos on your back, so it depends what you're going for there. But you're more likely to drink if you're not having to stop and pull your water bottle out each time. So that's the beauty of these. This is just sitting there, and all you have to do is grab it and walk and drink on the go if you want to. Although we are firm believers in stopping for a lot of drinks and a lot of photos and a lot of breathers and a lot of snacks. So there's no issues with lots of stopping. So as I said, that one's got the big mouth on it. For me, if I've tightened this off properly, quite often I'll struggle to loosen it. So it takes a bit of effort, and I get a little bit angry with it sometimes, but that's a few years old, so I don't know whether they've changed the design. This is another version of the bladder. So this one's quite different. So this one's from Decathlon. I'm quite a fan of this. So what actually happens here, if I just go this way, so this opens like that. So you'll see there's the opening. It's just like an open opening, and then that rolls down over this plastic bar, and then you slide this bar back onto it. Now that really feels like it's not going to be sealed. It feels quite flimsy, but trust me, I've used this plenty of times and nothing's coming out of this at all. Nothing. Beauty of this is cleaning is an absolute breeze, and a Decathlon branded one like this is much cheaper than your Camelback branded one. The other thing I really liked about this one, so I liked it for its opening, but I also really liked it for the fact that you can turn the mouthpiece off and on. So if you want it to be off, you can turn it off, or it can be on. So you're not running the risk of sitting on it and it leaking out. So that's those two. The other thing that you can do with these is ideally you don't want to freeze water in these, because obviously as ice expands, it may expand. If you filter it up too much, it may expand and break the bag. But you can put ice blocks in these ones, and sometimes if I've forgotten to freeze ice, sometimes I will just put an ice block in there, like the ones that you put in the bottom of the esky. Sometimes I do that. Speaking of freezers, the best way to store these to keep bacteria out is to freeze them empty. So store them in the freezer. So give them a clean and store them in the freezer. So without water in them, but yeah, that will keep your bacteria out. This one's quite new. I haven't been storing these in the freezer. This one's quite new and it's easy to clean, so that one will be okay. This one's been around the block a few times, and I found it in the bottom of my pack. So I'm probably going to need a new pipe for this one, because I can see there's a little bit of a build-up of mould. You can get cleaners for these. I think this one's probably past it a little bit, but that's okay. It's a few years old. So that's a wrap up of things to carry water in. I'd be really keen to know what you use, what works for you, and any feedback on some of the best gear, some of the best water bottles and bladders out there would be really awesome. Cool. Thanks all.